Yo, so I had a feeling that this was going to sell out, but I just didn't know it would sell out this fast. So, yo, what's popping? This is Jacques Slade, and this is your first look, or rather a better look at the Nike Safari BRED Pack. So for all you sneakerheads out there, when you think of or you hear the word Safari, the Air Max 1 may or may not be the shoe that you think about when it comes to the Safari print. Most of you probably think of the Nike Air Safari, which is where the Safari print originated. But for this pack, Nike has updated a few of their silhouettes with the Safari print, and what I think makes the silhouettes a lot better and makes them pop quite a bit. So here we have the Nike Air Max 1G, and this shoe is actually sold out already on Nike. It released on Nike.com. It wasn't even a sneakers release, and it's already sold out. As you can see, it has a Safari print here on the heel, starts on the medial side, and then it tracks all the way around the mid panel to the toe and back around here, right around the ball of your foot as well. For the upper of these, they went with a nice quality leather, and you can see that it's layered all over the panels. It's a black leather. It's very smooth, very soft to the touch, which actually works for these shoes. And they added a little extra bonus where you have the leather on the liner as well. This really kind of takes the model up, in my opinion, and gives it more of a luxury approach to it. But they don't leave it just there with the leather and the Safari print. They take it a step further and they add the red swoosh here, which is where you get the BRED name in the Safari BRED Pack. Now, for those wondering about this shoe, it is actually a part of a collaboration Nike is doing for the PGA golf tournament. So what you're looking at right now is an actual golf shoe, although it doesn't really look like a golf shoe. The thing that I really love about this is that I've been pestering Nike and all the other golf brands to create shoes that were made for golf but could also be worn off the course and nobody would know the difference. And I feel like they're really hitting their stride with this pair. As you can see here, this is a traditional Air Max 1. Everything is pretty much the same. It has the Air unit, has the same sort of midsole, but on the outsole is where things really take off, and that's where you get this integrated traction. Here you see it's translucent, but it has that red underneath to kind of keep that BRED theme going, and it really makes for a really stunning shoe that you can play on the course. There's not many golfers that you know that are willing or able to rock this shoe on the course, and I'm really excited about it. The pack was made for the Bethpage course, which is in New York. It's a public course, and that's where we get this logo here on the back of the shoe from. A lot of people have been asking what that maple leaf stands for. Well, it's not technically not a maple leaf. It is the leaf that they use for the parks and recs in New York City, because the Bethpage course, where the PGA tournament is happening this weekend, is actually a public course. Of the 4 or 5 silhouettes that they have inside of this pack, they all include Safari print in some sort of way, except for one of them, and I'll tell you about that one a little later, but the rest of them are all black with the same sort of leather, and that's because they're playing on the quote-unquote black course at Bethpage. This pair, as I said before, actually already sold out online. I had a feeling this pair was going to sell out just because it's so unique, and especially for the fact that it's an actual golf shoe, and if you don't believe it's a golf shoe, it literally says golf right there on the tongue of the shoe. And the build quality and the leather and the textures and the materials that they do on this model are really, really great. I really love what Nike Golf is doing with these shoes. But let's move on to the second shoe in the pack. While it may seem a little bit like fun and games with that Air Max 1, they are serious about the golf game, and they have an actual performance model included in the pack as well, and that is this model, the Zoom Victory Tour, and you see it says NRG. That's their energy, or the ones that they use really to capture the sneakerhead crowd, because we're the ones that are going to be buying these sorts of kicks. As you can see, these come in a very cool gold box, has the Nike logo right there, or the Nike Golf Shield, which looks really dope. And you can see they've actually taken it a step further, and they actually have special paper that's included in here as well. And then we get to the shoe, and this is again more of the traditional shoes when it comes to golf. It does have that traditional like dress shoe sort of feel, where the safari print, they use it here in the midsection of the shoe, it trails around the heel. But again, they're using that high quality leather at the toe, and on the liner of the shoe, you get it again on the tongue. And then this one has the New York City leaf right there on the side. But when it comes to the outsole, this isn't one that you'll probably wear off the court, but that's because it has the traditional spikes. But as you see, they continue that BRED theme with this metallic plate that goes from the toe all the way to the heel, and then they have black spikes, again keeping that whole BRED theme together. And then the midsole here, I believe this midsole that they use on these is React, so you get that soft cushioning of Nike React. They've been slowly but surely updating all of the Nike golf shoes to give them React cushioning. Some of them used to have Lunar, but now they're moving to React, obviously just because it's so soft and it works so well. And if you're going to be walking around all day in a pair of shoes, you definitely want something nice and soft and responsive like React to give you that cushioning that you need. Now, this pair has not sold out quite yet, but for those that want a more traditional looking shoe, but also want to have a little flavor of the lifestyle, that's where something like this comes in. It doesn't look like a traditional shoe like the Air Max 1, but it's also not super stodgy and old like some of the other shoes that you get. So this one kind of balances that gray area between a traditional performance shoe and something that is, I would say, a little more lifestyle. It has that pop of lifestyle on the upper, but it's definitely not an Air Max 1. All right, for the final shoe in the pack, Nike went with one of my favorite silhouettes of all time, the Air Jordan 11. But there's some good and some bad to this silhouette. First, it's obviously the Air Jordan 11, so you get that patent leather rand that goes around that really pops and really shines. They, instead of the Cordura mesh that you usually see here on the mid panel, they actually used the leather that we saw on the Air Max 1 and that we also saw on the Victory Tour. They have the same logo here on the tongue, so you get that there. They do not use the leather on the liner like we had with the other silhouettes. So this one uses more of like, it's like a cotton and it's padded here, so you get that there. But on this model, you do know that it is waterproof. The other ones didn't specifically say that they are waterproof, but for the Victory, you can see that that model definitely isn't going to get any water inside of it based on the shape of the shoe and the way that it's made. With the Air Max 1, I'm not so sure. I feel like that one could probably get some water in it as opposed to this one, where it's definitely saying that it is waterproof here on the tag. As far as the Jordan details go, it's all the same Jordan details. You get the little Jordan logo, you get the 23 right there, you get the Jordan on the tongue. The only place you don't get the Jumpman is on the outsole, and there they actually have the Nike swoosh. It is in all red, so this pair you can't actually wear off the course. I know a lot of people want an all black Air Jordan 11, but unfortunately, this is the only version that we're going to get. This is a golf version. So if you want one of those, we're just going to have to wait for those until Jordan Brand gives us one. This one does not use React. It uses the same cushioning that we find on every other Air Jordan 11. So you don't get that same sort of responsiveness and same sort of cushioning. And this is the only model in the pack that doesn't use the safari print. I don't know if that's because it's Jordan they don't want to use safari print, or they just couldn't find the proper place to put safari print on this model, but you do not get safari print on this version of the Air Jordan 11 Low Golf. For those that don't know about safari print, I know I talked about it a little bit earlier, but just a reminder that safari print is actually ostrich print. Tinker Hatfield, who designed the Nike Air Safari back in 1987, I believe, was in New York City looking for inspiration, just walking around the city, and saw a furniture shop that had ostrich skin over the couch. And that is what inspired him to create the safari print for the Nike Air Safari that we've seen on the Air Max 1 and countless other silhouettes. So in a sense, it's ostrich print and not safari print. Anyway, I wanted to give you guys a closer look at the Nike Safari BRED pack for Nike Golf. It's definitely something that's in my wheelhouse, as obviously I love golf and I love sneakers, and I love the fact that Nike Golf is stepping outside of the usual world that they are in and exposing some of the sneakerhead world to some of the stuff that happens in golf, and really showing golf what happens in the sneakerhead world as well. I just think those two worlds colliding is really dope. This pair right here is actually not available just yet. These will not drop until the 17th. 17th. The rest of the pack is available starting today on the 13th. However, the Air Max 1 is sold out already if you planned on copying those. People were going crazy for those online, and it shows because they sold out. But these, they release on the 17th, so you'll be able to grab these if you're quick enough. They'll be available on Nike.com and not on sneakers as well, so make sure. So just FYI. Anyway, yeah, as always, guys, I appreciate you. Make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe and all of that good stuff. And if you really like what you see, why don't you go ahead and turn on those notifications. I'm Jacques Slade, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.